Hey guys, just want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that I've been bringing up lately with the whole keto crotch deal and the fact that it was a PR stunt. Anytime you change diets, you can change your smell internally. And with me being a Facebook creator of several groups, a lot of times I get to hear intimate things from people that they wouldn't normally talk about in public. Your smell can change from any diet. Your smell doesn't have to change just because of being keto or anything. Your pH levels change, your ketone productions, all these things can affect a particular type of smell. It doesn't mean that you're rotting inside. It doesn't mean that there's anything internally going wrong inside. It's just your body cleaning itself out, adapting to a new diet, and then you adjust from there and it goes away completely. It doesn't come back. And then you almost feel on keto like, man, I don't even smell anymore. I don't get odors from my armpits anymore. I don't get odors from downstairs, but it goes away. What happened is a few years ago when keto started to get real big, there were people that would talk, quietly about things like, okay, I've noticed a little bit of different odor from downstairs. And people were trying to come up with a term for it, and they called it keto kitty. And at that time, it was no big deal. People were trying to come up with different solutions on how to neutralize the odor, the smell, and stuff like that. And what ended up happening is they came up with a 25% apple cider vinegar, 75% water wash. And ladies would wipe underneath their breasts or in their armpits or inside their legs. And it seemed like that would neutralize what was going on. It was only a short lived period, maybe just a couple weeks or something like that, maybe a week, and it would go away. It wouldn't come back anymore. It was completely gone at that point. So, is there a such thing as keto crotch? It would be also called, or AKA keto kitty. Yes, but a smell can come from any type of diet. It doesn't matter what it is. You might have 100 women where only one or two women experience that. It's not something rotting inside you. It's not something that's killing you or whatever, like they made it out to be. But you have to understand as well now that over the last 2 years, Weight Watchers has been falling on its face. Oprah Winfrey owns 10% of the stock. She's the face of Weight Watchers. She's the one that everybody sees with the ads popping up on Facebook and on TV and things like that. But when you own 10% of the stock, you have to put pressure on the company. I own 6.4 million shares of your stock. You better start doing something right now to fix this problem. I'm not happy with this right now. We need to up the ads, come up with some kind of gimmick PR stunt or something like that. It was all part of the game. But to discredit it and say, like Jimmy Moore, Dr. Barry, Tristan from Primal Edge, all these guys that may not have dealt with somebody privately saying, look, I don't necessarily smell that great down there, and I don't know if it's because of the diet or not, but something has changed, and then it temporarily goes away. I've been doing this on and off for 15 years. The majority of the 15 years I have, I did take a little bit of a lapse in there because I just ate whatever I wanted and got up to almost 400 pounds. But now using keto and carnivore, I've lost, 147 pounds, and I've been stuck at that number for a few months, but I'm back into it now. Over the last month, I've lost another 5 pounds, and I'm really feeling good. My whole life has changed. I'm off antidepressant medications. I don't have a high A1C where I was a pre-diabetic before. My blood sugar is consistently in the 80s and rarely ever goes higher than in the mid-90s, even when I eat a meal. So I've healed myself using keto, and I feel offended that somebody would take such an honest living style and make it out to be something that it's not. I'm super offended by that. If you see my recent video where I actually go into a weight place, you can almost see, the CEO pointed out that, keto has muffins or something like that, or cupcakes, and they're making it seem like there's something wrong with keto. But wait a second, when I just went into your Weight Watchers location, your shelves were full of nothing but snack treats and candy bars and cupcakes and oatmeals and everything else. But yet the CEO wants to bring up in one of her news, interviews or something like that, well, keto has cupcakes, like it can't be healthy, right? But yet I can go into one of your locations and your shelves are full of nothing but junk shit. Excuse my language. That's what it is. Carb counts 30, 40 a serving and stuff like that. And this is supposed to be your point scale. This is supposed to be your treat for somebody whenever they're on a Weight Watchers program. Well, that's like walking through a candy store. And then the whole premise behind the meetings and stuff that they hold weekly and stuff from people that they're not even trained people. They're not nutritionists. They're not doctors. They're not people that have been doing this for a long time. They're people that simply have been trained to rehearse a pattern of doing things, and then they put them out in front of people and they say, go train these people, go do this stuff. And that's where it comes from. But they do it. They put this PR stunt up where they buy 4 pages in the middle of People magazine, and they want to talk bad about keto and stuff. This keto crotch, keto people are dying or rotting from the inside out. All it is a pH change. But to say that it's not a thing would be a lie, because it is a thing, and somebody has given it a name, and there are plenty of articles that are written on it. I was just reading one last night where a lady was talking about her expertise in helping people and coaching and stuff like that, and how whenever higher ketone levels were present, there was a little bit of an odor change, and that was somewhat correlating to it, but not specifically correlating to it. So, the causation correlation thing is strong here as well. Like, you can't prove it. But what I can say is diet change in general will change the way you smell momentarily, and then your body typically comes out of it. Anytime you have a pH change, your body can change its smell. And especially if you have an area where, ladies call it their hot box, right? It's closed up down there. You got your pants on. You got a number of things going on down there, and it just sits there and accumulates, right? So that smell could sit there, and it could magnify, and it may be worse than what it is when you actually smell it. But all it is washing, cider vinegar, water wash, and stuff like that. This is something that I think people are blowing way, way, way out of proportion. It's a transitional phase. When you become fat adapted, most of the time, all these symptoms and stuff go away. Right in the beginning, it just takes a matter of a couple weeks. So the PR stunt that they pulled was making it out to be keto as something that it's not. It's not going to rot you. It's not going to make you fall apart. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to cause heart disease and all these other things. I've been doing this for years and years and years and years now, and I feel amazing. I feel better than I have ever felt in my entire life. So for Oprah Winfrey and Weight Watchers, or WW, to pull the PR stunt that they pulled, it just shows you what kind of people they are. It shows you what they're trying to grasp at. My father last night was sitting in his nursing home room. He's about to come out they're letting him go back to the house next week. And he said, well, did you see that thing on the news today? They were talking about keto and how keto is bad for you. It can cause all these heart things and stuff like that. I said, Dad, what news station were you listening to? Well, it was on ABC. I said, well, there you go. Everything that you read is not real. And he brought it up again, and he brought it up again. And I said, Dad, I don't want to hear this stuff, really. This is them just trying to, make this dogmatic, publicized PR thing out to be something that it's not. And with Weight Watchers and probably most of these companies all being tied into each other, they're going to put anything that they can possibly put up on social media right now in the news to make people believe that it's not necessarily the most kosher thing to do. It's very healing. It's taking people off tons of medication. Diabetics are coming off metformin and insulin and all these other things, and people are scared right now. Weight Watchers doesn't want to lose their money. Oprah Winfrey doesn't want to lose her money in her stocks. People don't want people to heal like that, because then the money goes away. Then you can't provide for this lavish lifestyle that you've been living. And on top of that, you can't justify the last 70 years of treatment has been the way it has been. Do you know what would happen if they found out keto is healthy? Do you know how many medical providers, doctors, scientific organizations and stuff like that do these studies that would completely fall apart because of how bad they've talked about things for so long? Do you know what would happen? They cannot allow the truth to be known. If they let the truth known, everything would fall apart. There's a lot of people that would be under the microscope at this point. There's a lot of people that would lose their jobs. There's a lot of people that would be held accountable for what they've been doing for so long. What if I told you that 40 years ago, people could have started doing a ketogenic diet then, and their loved ones could have lasted, 5, 10, 15 years longer than what they did because of the way medical practices handle things now? Yes, this is a fact. Look at all the people now that they put their elderly, their parents and stuff on a ketogenic diet, and it prolongs their life. They're lasting another 5, 10, 15 years over what's expected. People are coming off all the medications. Alzheimer's and dementia patients are substantially increasing their cognitive function and things of this nature. Weight Watchers cannot let go on this. There's going to be more PR stunts. There's going to be more stuff that's put out. There's going to be a lot of that stuff. But to discredit that there's actually a smell that changes whenever you change diets, regardless if it's keto or not, would be a falsity. There are some people that experience a smell change. This keto kitty, keto crotch, keto whatever you want to call it, they associate that name with it because they've never tried another diet that has worked like keto has. So when you get into a fat burning mode, when you actually start to get into a diet that actually affects you health wise, of course your chemicals and stuff are going to change. Of course your smell is going to change a little bit sometimes, and eventually it goes away. But those very few people that experience that, they've given it a name: Keto Kitty, Keto Crotch, or whatever. I think I like Keto Kitty better. But with this term given to it because of a diet change, it's just simply because of a diet change. Now, some people do believe that it can be because of ketone production that the smell has changed a little bit until your body regulates and comes out of it. Some people believe that it could be because hormone changing and stuff like that, because keto is very self-regulated when it comes to hormones. Overdoing it for long periods of time, your body learns to adjust itself and start, your periods become regular and not irregular anymore. They start to regulate after 4, 5, 6 months. Progesterone levels and estrogen levels all start to regulate out. So during this period of time, I could see how there could be small smell changes and stuff like that that are not pleasant to somebody's nose. And I feel bad for the person that has to go through that. And I understand it's embarrassing and people don't want you to talk about it. And it's not something that should be brought up. But this is real life. And if you can't talk about real life situations and address them head on like we are as adults and get over it, talk about it and move on, then how are you going to have a conversation with somebody? I mean, this is real life stuff. It happens. So any diet change can bring this on, not just keto. But there may be a particular smell that we just don't realize that comes from an adjustment phase and then back out of it with keto, because now we are producing a different fuel source. So with that being said, let's not completely discredit the fact that there is a smell change to some women. I've had plenty of women come forward and say, you know what? They in private, not publicly, because it's very, very embarrassing. And there's a lot of women that don't even want me to talk about this because it almost makes it seem like something's wrong with them or rotten inside them. And that's not it at all. It's just an adjustment phase. That's all it is. So they blew it out of proportion. They're trying to save their ass in this matter. They don't want keto to take off. That's just what it comes down to. And that's the simple, clean-cut, dry version of exactly what it is. Yes, it is a PR stunt. Yes, you can get some kind of smell change. Yes, there are terms called Keto Kitty and Keto Crotch now. Well, it wasn't Keto Crotch, it was called Keto Kitty. It's not to be completely discredited as people are making it out to be. You're going to see a lot of keto channels talk about, oh my God, this is such BS, and it's not BS. They just don't understand exactly what's going on. It's not BS at all. So it's with any diet change. But then when you call somebody on it, it's calling it that they're calling it BS. All of a sudden they speak up and say, well, that could just be from any diet change. The simple fact of the matter is it can be because of diet. And if you're on a ketogenic diet and you experience that, there's a term for it, and it should be explained as it's simply just an adaptation phase. It's a change. You go out, you might experience it for a short period, but you're right back out of it again. And if anything, reducing the sugar and the carbs and stuff in general is what ends up yielding the very healing effect, where you don't get yeast infections anymore. You don't get chemical imbalance and stuff anymore. So regardless of what diet causes it, it's given a name with keto, and it's called Keto Kitty. And it can happen. That's the bottom line. That's the God's honest truth. And if you see somebody discrediting it, I would appreciate it if you share this video with them. Maybe it would educate them some more that it is a possibility. It doesn't necessarily mean because it's directly because of keto. It's just a lifestyle change, and this can happen with anything. So Oprah Winfrey or Weight Watchers or the CEO or whoever you are, if you see this video, there's your explanation. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make Weight Watchers look like the biggest fools that they could possibly look like through my videos. And if you've been watching my videos lately, I'm showing you the real, raw truth on what's going on. I hope you guys would continue to follow me and support me. And just realize I'm not here to make the situation worse, but I'm here to tell the truth. Smells can change. And Keto Kitty is a thing. It just may not be directly related to keto. Let's understand that first and foremost. Thank you guys for your time. And again, I apologize to those of you that are having to go through all this drama lately on social media and stuff like that. It's not necessary. But Weight Watchers is trying to make up a lot of stuff right now to pull themselves out of the dumps because they're falling apart. Their company, if it keeps going the way it is, they'll have to end up shutting down. They won't be able to stay operating. And the CEO says they're not. Maybe the CEO says that they're not going to back down right now. But we'll see what happens. You'll have to back down. If your company's not making money, you can't stay afloat. You can't live off fumes. So that's my message, guys. That's to clear up what I've been talking about lately, the videos I've been putting out on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. It is a thing. It's just not as bad as they're making out to be, and it goes away very quickly. Thank you.